She called him just a friend from work, but her messages said otherwise. That night, I opened her laptop and my hands started shaking. Before we start, hit that subscribe button and stay updated for more real-life stories like this. Liam Reed always believed that hard work could fix anything, that if you kept your head down, worked late, and stayed consistent, life would eventually reward you. That belief started when he was just a broke college dropout with one second-hand laptop and a dream. He'd sit in his small apartment, designing websites for local businesses and charging barely enough to cover rent. But he never complained. Every time someone told him to get a real job, he just smiled and worked harder. By the time he turned 29, everything changed. His small freelance hustle turned into Reed Media, one of the most promising digital marketing firms in Los Angeles. Within 3 years, Liam went from surviving on instant noodles to running a company worth over $12 million. But behind all that success, there was one person who kept him grounded. Ava. They met years ago when Liam was still struggling. She worked as a barista and was studying advertising. She was the first person who believed in his dream. When he couldn't afford rent, she slipped money into his wallet without saying a word. When clients ghosted him, she told him, "It's just a matter of time before people see what you can really do." When he made it, he made her a promise. "You'll never have to struggle again." He kept that promise. He bought her a white BMW, the apartment she always wanted, and made her creative director at Reed Media. Everyone in the company loved her. She was confident, stylish, and always smiling, especially when Liam was around. But as the business grew, Liam got busier. He was constantly traveling, signing partnerships, expanding his team. Ava understood, or at least that's what he thought. Then small things started to change. She started staying out late, saying she was meeting clients. Her phone was always face down, notifications muted. And whenever Liam tried to plan something spontaneous, like a weekend getaway, she suddenly had too much work. He brushed it off. He trusted her completely. He had no reason not to, until one night he came home from a late dinner meeting around 10:45 p.m. The lights were dim. Music played softly in the background, a song Ava used to play when they were first dating. Then he noticed something. There was a men's jacket on the living room couch. Not his. He froze. His stomach dropped. Ava appeared from the hallway, startled. "Oh, hey," she said, forcing a smile. "You're home early." Her tone wasn't happy. It was nervous, and Liam instantly knew. Something was wrong. He scanned the room again. 2 glasses of wine sat on the table. He felt his pulse rising, his mind racing. "Who's here, Ava?" he asked quietly. Her lips parted, but no words came out. That silence said everything. And then, from the guest room, the door creaked open. The door opened slowly, and a man stepped out. He was tall, dressed casually, white t-shirt, jeans, messy hair. But what hit Liam wasn't his face. It was his expression. He looked guilty, shocked, like someone who just realized his life might change in the next few seconds. Ava immediately spoke, her voice trembling. "Liam, please." "It's not what you think." Liam stood frozen, his heart pounding. He didn't shout. He didn't even move. He just stared at her, at the woman he built a whole world around, and said quietly, "Then tell me what it is." But she couldn't. No words, no excuses, just silence and tears she couldn't hide. The guy tried to speak. "Man, listen, I didn't—" Liam cut him off sharply. "Get out." The man hesitated, then grabbed his jacket and walked out without another word. Ava tried to follow, but Liam raised his hand. Don't say anything." He walked out to the balcony, staring at the city lights below. He didn't cry. He didn't break anything. He just stood there, feeling something inside him shut down. After 10 minutes, Ava came outside, whispering, "Liam, please. It just happened. We weren't planning anything. It was stupid. I made a mistake." He turned his head slightly. "A mistake?" he said coldly. "You invited someone into our home, into the life we built together. And you call that a mistake?" Ava's tears fell harder. "It didn't mean anything." Liam laughed bitterly. "Then that makes it even worse." That night, he slept on the couch, not because he couldn't share the same bed, but because everything about that room suddenly felt fake. The next morning, he left for work early, without saying a word. At the office, no one noticed his mood. He smiled, cracked jokes, ran meetings as usual. He was good at hiding pain. After all, he'd hidden struggle his whole life. But inside, something broke completely. For 2 weeks, he didn't confront her again. He didn't shout, argue, or ask questions. He simply went quiet, emotionally distant, cold. Then one day, Ava showed up at his office, trying to talk. "Liam, I can't take this silence anymore," she said. He looked up from his desk, his voice calm but heavy. "You took something from me I can't get back, Ava. My peace." She started crying again. I know, I ruined everything, but I love you." He just stared at her and said softly, "No, you loved what I built." "Not me." Ava stood there speechless, tears streaming down her face. That was the last time they spoke as husband and wife. Within a month, she moved out. Liam didn't fight, didn't try to fix it. He let her go. But he couldn't stop thinking about how it happened. How the person who once believed in him ended up betraying him for something so shallow. Then one day, while scrolling through social media, he saw something that froze him again. A photo, Ava, smiling, holding hands with the same guy from that night, at a fancy rooftop restaurant. The caption said, "New beginnings." Liam laughed quietly to himself. "New beginnings," he whispered. That was the exact moment something in him changed. He didn't just want to move on. He wanted to make her regret it, not with anger, but with success, silence, and a plan she would never see coming. After seeing that photo, Liam didn't break down this time. He didn't call, didn't rage, didn't drown himself in alcohol. He just sat there for a long moment, staring at the screen, at the woman who once promised him forever, and felt nothing but clarity. That was the day he made a quiet promise. "I won't chase revenge with noise. I'll do it with silence." He started by changing everything around him. He sold the apartment, the one they'd shared, and moved into a minimalist penthouse downtown. White walls, no memories, no reminders. He switched his schedule, hired a private trainer, started eating clean, and spent most nights working on new ideas for the company. People at the office noticed the change. Liam wasn't broken. He was sharper, colder, but focused like never before. Within months, Reed Media expanded into international markets. He partnered with bigger brands, landed major clients, and within a year, his company's valuation doubled. But what Ava didn't know was that Liam had started a second company quietly on the side. A creative agency under a different name, Vantage Collective. He built it with a small, loyal team who knew his story but never spoke about it. And his first move? He approached several companies where Ava's new boyfriend, Ryan Blake, worked as a marketing consultant. Liam didn't show his face. He sent proposals through middlemen, creative pitches, ad campaigns, brand overhauls. His ideas were too good to refuse. Within weeks, Vantage Collective started taking Ryan's clients, one by one. Ryan didn't even know who was behind it. While Liam grew in silence, Ava and Ryan were living loud. They posted photos of luxury dinners, beach vacations, and captions about starting from scratch together. But money has a way of revealing people's real intentions. Ryan wasn't the loyal partner she thought he was. He loved attention more than love. He used her for clout, her old connections from Reed Media. And when things got tough, he started flirting with other women, just like he once did with her. Meanwhile, Liam's quiet success was impossible to ignore. Reed Media won an international award for Innovative Marketing Campaign of the Year. His face was on magazines again, confident, composed, unbothered. That's when Ava texted him for the first time in almost a year. Ava, "Hey, I saw the article about your company. Congratulations, you really made it big." Liam, "Thanks." Ava, "I know I don't deserve to say this, but I'm proud of you." Liam, "You're right. You don't." She left him on read after that. But fate wasn't done. A few weeks later, Ryan applied for a contract with Reed Media, completely unaware that Liam still personally approved every new partnership. When the request hit his desk, Liam just smiled faintly. He called his assistant and said, "Set a meeting. I want to see them in person." The next week, Ryan and Ava walked into the Reed Media headquarters. The moment they saw Liam behind that glass desk, confident, calm, in a tailored suit, Ava froze. Ryan extended his hand awkwardly. "Liam, good to finally meet. I've heard a lot about you." Liam shook it politely. "Likewise." The meeting lasted 15 minutes. Liam listened, nodded, smiled, and then said, "You've got potential, but your proposal lacks depth. Unfortunately, we're not moving forward." Ryan tried to argue, but Liam just smiled again and said, "Some things look good on the surface, but lack real foundation. You understand that better than anyone, right?" Ryan didn't catch the hidden meaning. Ava did. She sat there, speechless, her face pale. When they left, she glanced back one last time, and Liam didn't even look up. That night, she texted him again. "Ava, you really didn't have to humiliate us like that." Liam, "You humiliated yourself a long time ago. I just gave you a mirror." After that, Liam blocked her. He didn't need to say more. After that meeting, Ava couldn't shake the feeling that she'd just watched the man she betrayed turn into everything she once wanted him to be. Confident, powerful, untouchable. But she told herself she didn't care. At least, that's what she tried to believe. Months passed. Ryan's consultancy started losing more clients. Most of them moved over to other agencies, many of which were quietly connected to Liam's new company, Vantage Collective. At first, Ryan blamed the market. Then he blamed his employees. Eventually, he blamed Ava. "You used to have connections," he shouted one night. "Now everyone's picking Liam's side. You ruined this." Ava just stared at him, stunned. "You're the one who wanted to work with his competitors." Ryan slammed his drink on the table. "You're just bitter because he's more successful than me." That was the first time he hit her. Not hard enough to break anything, but hard enough to break her. Ava packed her things that night and left, crying behind the wheel as she drove aimlessly through the city. For the first time, she realized what she'd traded love for: attention, excitement, and a man who never cared about her the way Liam did. She stayed at a friend's place for a while, scrolling through her phone, staring at old photos of her and Liam, back when he was broke. But she was happy. Every memory hit harder than the last. Then, one day, she saw a LinkedIn post from Reed Media. "We're launching a mentorship program for aspiring marketers and entrepreneurs. Applications open next week." Without thinking too much, she applied under a different last name. She didn't want pity. She just wanted a chance to feel useful again. When she got accepted, she was shocked and nervous. On the first day, she sat quietly in a group session. Then, halfway through the event, the door opened, and Liam walked in. Everyone clapped. He was the guest speaker. Ava froze in her seat. He didn't notice her at first, or maybe he did, but pretended not to. He spoke about growth, betrayal, resilience, about how some lessons in life come wrapped in pain, but they make you sharper if you let them. His words felt like a knife and a lesson at the same time. After the session, she walked up to him. "Liam, please, can we talk?" He looked at her, calm and distant. "You're part of the program now. That's the only reason I'm talking to you." "I didn't come here to beg," she said, voice shaking. I wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything." He stared at her for a moment, then said quietly, "I forgave you a long time ago, Ava. Not for you. For me." Tears filled her eyes. "You really don't feel anything anymore?" Liam smiled faintly. "I feel grateful. You showed me who not to trust. That's the most valuable lesson I've learned." He turned to walk away, but stopped halfway. "By the way," he added, "the company you and Ryan once pitched to, it's now a Reed Media client." And just like that, he walked out. Ava stood there, silent, watching the man she once destroyed walk away stronger than ever. That night, she sat alone in her apartment, realizing something painful. Revenge didn't destroy her. Karma did. And Liam didn't even have to lift a finger. Months went by after that encounter. Liam never saw Ava again. Not in meetings, not at events, not anywhere. It was as if she had disappeared from his world completely, and maybe that was the peace he'd been chasing all along. Reed Media continued to grow. Liam became a regular speaker at business conferences, inspiring young entrepreneurs with his story. Not about betrayal, but about resilience and reinvention. He often said, "Pain is just life trying to reintroduce you to your potential." To the world, he was the confident CEO who had it all. But deep down, he was still that guy who once sat in a small apartment, chasing a dream. Only now, he had scars to remind him what it cost. One evening, after a long day, Liam sat on his penthouse balcony, watching the city glow below. He poured himself a drink and scrolled through his old photo gallery. Pictures of him and Ava popped up. The early days, the smiles, the birthdays, the road trips. For a brief second, he smiled, not because he missed her, but because he finally understood. Some people come into your life to build you, some come to break you, and some do both, without even realizing it. He deleted the old photos one by one, not out of anger, but out of acceptance. His phone was lighter, and so was his heart. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, Ava was working as a freelance designer. Ryan was long gone. Her social media was empty. No more vacations, no more fake happiness, just quiet posts about rebuilding herself. Sometimes she'd see Liam's interviews on YouTube, clips where he talked about personal growth and forgiveness. And every time she watched, she felt both proud and hollow at once. She knew he'd never take her back. And maybe she didn't deserve that anyway. One night, she wrote him an email. Not to beg, not to reconnect, just to close the last page. Subject, "Thank you. I know you'll probably never reply, and that's okay. I just wanted to say thank you for everything. For believing in me back then, and for teaching me what real love and strength look like. I hope life keeps giving you everything you deserve. Ava." Liam saw the email a few days later. He read it once, then again, and for the first time in years, he didn't feel bitterness or anger, just peace. He hit reply and typed only one sentence. "Thank you, Ava. I truly wish you well." He pressed send, leaned back, and looked out the window. The night sky over Los Angeles shimmered with a quiet calmness. In that moment, he realized revenge wasn't destroying her. Revenge was becoming untouchable, and he had done exactly that. 2 years later, Reed Media merged with one of the biggest global firms in the U.S. Liam's name became synonymous with innovation and leadership. He met someone new, Qley, a graphic designer who'd joined his company after the merger. She was grounded, kind, and had no idea about his past until months later. When she finally asked him, "Do you still think about her?" He smiled softly, and said, "Only as a reminder that I'll never lose myself for someone again." And that was the truth. Liam learned that forgiveness wasn't weakness. It was control. That success wasn't revenge. It was freedom. And in the end, that's exactly what he found. Reddit comments say things like, "Wow, I didn't see that twist coming. He didn't just get revenge, he leveled up emotionally. This felt so real. The quiet revenge hits harder than shouting ever could. Ava learned the lesson the hard way. He played the long game perfectly. One of the most satisfying endings I've heard here. He lost everything once, but he came back stronger than ever." Hit that subscribe button if you want to hear how revenge stories like this unfold.